Hello and welcome to this new tutorial by the Gamesmith. In the last part, we gave the player the ability to shoot, but there was nothing to shoot at. So today we'll create some intelligent enemies in our game. Enemies that can detect our player, shoot him, and patrol the platforms without falling off them. So, let's dive into Unity and do it. So first of all, we drag our enemy sprite into the scene. Then we add a rigid body 2D and freeze the rotation around the Z-axis. After that, we'll add a circle collider to it. Then create a C# script and call it enemy control. After it opens in Visual Studio, we'd like to declare some variables. The first of them is a public float called speed. Then another public float, calling this one vertical detection. Now another public float, which is called horizontal detection. After that, a bool called moving right, and finally a public transform calling it detection point. Then in the update function we type transform.translate, and between two brackets type vector2.left multiply this by speed and multiply by time.delta time. Now we'll add a raycast hit 2D. We'll call this one ground, which will be equal to physics 2D dot raycast, and between two brackets we'll set the start position to be detection point dot position, with a direction of vector2 dot down, and with a length of vertical detection. After that we'll do the same, but this time we'll call it wall, in the left direction and with a distance of horizontal distance. Okay, so what raycast does is starting an invisible ray from a specific position in a certain direction with a set length. And after that it stores the result in a bool, which either take true if it hit something or false if it didn't. So now we use an if statement to check whether it detects ground beneath it or a wall in front of it. So ground will be false and wall will be set to. If so, we want to check if the enemy is moving right, then we use transform.Euler angles to flip his direction. So setting it to a new vector tree with the values of 0, -180, and 0. And we set moving right to false. If he isn't moving right, then we do the same, but this time we set the values to 0, 0, and 0. And of course we'll set moving right to be true. Now we save the script and head back to Unity. Add the script to the enemy. And we set the speed to, for example, 3, the vertical detection and horizontal detection to 0.5. After that, we create an empty game object. I'll be giving it an icon just to be able to locate it in the scene. And after that, we place it in front of the enemy. Call it detection point. Now make it a child of the enemy and drag it to the detection point field in the inspector. Now, as you see, the enemy patrols the platform and can detect obstacles in its way. And to make the enemy shoot the player, we attach the same code as we did in the cannon. If you don't know how it's done, I'll be leaving the link to that video in the description below or in the upper right corner of the video right now. And finally, to make the enemy affected by the player's bullet, we head back to the script and add two public floats called health and health decrease. Then a public game object called shot. Now we go below our update function and we add an onTrigger enter 2D function, inside which we check whether a bullet is what hit the enemy. So we type if collision.compareTag bullet and if so, we want to check its health. So if health is less than or equal to 0, then destroy game object. If not, we'll decrease the health by the amount of health decrease. And in both cases, we want to destroy the bullet. But actually I forgot to define it, so in the beginning of the update function, we type shot equal to game object dot find game object with tag. Now, thanks for watching. If you learned something new today, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to post them in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. See you in the next video.